Hello everyone, my name's Adam EposVox. Welcome back to another Windows 10 tips tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be showing you a new way to create bootable USB drives as essentially bootable live CDs for various operating system distributions, typically Linux. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do it using a program called Etcher. Before we get started, a more bearded version of myself is going to show you how to install the software within Windows, and then my good buddy over at EposVox Training is going to show you how to install it on Linux. And if you'd like to learn how to use it on Linux, go check out his video in the card icon above and the description below, and he'll walk you through the steps of using it on Linux. I'm just going to show you Windows here today, maybe an expanded tutorial later. So of course, head on over to etcher.io, and then you can either click download for Windows, or you can get specifically the x64 or x86 version for your machine if you know you have a 32-bit or 64-bit computer. You can tweet it out, share it with your friends, all that jazz. That's not necessary, however. Just download the executable file and save it to wherever, your downloads folder. It should automatically detect if you're running a 64-bit machine, but if not, you can, or if you specifically want a 32-bit exe, you can choose that. Once it's downloaded, click on the exe from your downloads folder, tell it to run, accept the user access control prompt to run it with administrative privileges to run it on your machine. And then once the installer pops up, click install, and you can show the details to see what files it's copying where. By default, it is just installing to your C drive. Installs very, very quickly, especially if you have a solid state drive at all. And then once it's finished installing, make sure Start Etcher is checked if you want to go ahead and start it, and hit finish.
All right, Adam, thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Matthew Williams with EposVox Training, and I'll be stepping you through how to get Etcher up and running on your Linux system. So let's head on over to our desktop. And first and foremost, we want to head on over to etcher.io to download this. Scroll on down here, and as you can see, you can download for Linux or for other various build that's correct for your system. In my case, I've downloaded the Etcher for Linux x64 build. And I previously downloaded that to make things a little quicker here. As you can see, here's Etcher-Linux-x64. So the first thing we need to do is to cd into our downloads folder. And to do that, it's cd space tilde slash capital D for downloads slash and enter. To run Etcher, now we just type sudo, it's sudo dot slash, and you can start typing etch and hit tab to finish filling things in for you, and hit enter to continue. Enter your password. And the first thing you'll get is this pop-up asking if you want to install a desktop file. Say no to this. Give it a moment here for it to come up. And here we are. And I will pass it back on over to Adam to finish showing you how to install it on Windows. And then the beautiful thing is the steps are exactly the same. So back to you, Adam.
So for this, you will of course need the program installed, and you will need a flash drive plugged into your computer, preferably at least 8 gigabytes. I have here a 16 gig drive plugged into my computer and empty and ready to go. And then you will need an ISO of the operating system you wish to use. I have this Voyager Linux ISO, a new Linux distribution I want to try out. So that's what I'm going to be using. So go ahead and open up Etcher. Accept any security prompts that may pop up here. I apologize if I sound a little bit more nasally or higher pitched than usual. I am quite a bit under the weather, and I've noticed that it's affected a few of my videos so far. I do apologize. All right, before we get started, go ahead and click the gear icon, and you have a couple different options. It will report any errors, which you can skip if you know that what you're doing may give you an error but still would work. Then you have checkboxes for it to automatically unmount the flash drive so you can unplug it upon successfully writing the image, and to also validate and make sure that the image was successfully written after it finishes writing it. Basically just does a check to make sure that what it wrote was what it was supposed to. I'm going to leave all of those checked, but you can customize that to your desire. And then what I love about this program is that it is a very simple, easy to use program compared to the Rufus one that I recommended before. Click select image and select your image. Mine of course is in my downloads folder, Voyager 64-bit. When you're selecting your image, I did want to note something here, is that you can actually see here, it says you can actually choose zip, gzip, BZ2, and many more file formats, ISO, DSK, HDD image, instead of just ISO files. It's actually very flexible. And with selecting your drive, you can actually use SD cards instead of flash drives to do bootable SD cards. If your laptop or something like that has an SD card reader, it makes it a little bit more flexible of an option and lets you do it, or, lets you consistently boot a laptop into a live disk without having some giant flash drive sticking out of it. It's actually really cool. Now, since I only have one usable flash drive plugged into my computer, I unplugged the SD cards that I had in there. You can, of course, like I said, use SD cards, and that is a big appeal of this software, but I'm using a normal flash drive for this. Since I only have one usable, standard flash drive plugged in, it automatically detected it and chose it. Otherwise, it would have a choose flash drive button here and pop up a list for you to choose from, and then you just tell it flash image. Now I'm actually going to choose an option here to not auto unmount on success, simply because that may cause my audio recording program here to crash, and I don't want to do that while I'm recording a tutorial. But for most people, that should be what you want checked, probably. And then you click flash. Flash! Accept the command prompt and let it do its thing. It does provide you an ETA at the bottom there and show you the current write speed to the flash drive, which is very handy. As with most of these kinds of tutorials, a faster USB drive will move faster, such as a faster SD card with a USB 3.0 card reader. SD cards do have varying speeds, or a USB 3.0 flash drive plugged into a USB 3.0 port. This is a standard USB 2.0 port, or flash drive plugged into a USB 2.0 port, so it's going to take about 4 minutes. Alright, so it has failed verification twice in a row, and it even gave us a little Windows 10 push notification for it. So, if it fails verification for you once, it's maybe worth trying again, but it failed twice, so I'm going to swap flash drives, and that should fix my issue. Something's probably wrong with this crappy old flash drive I'm trying to use. Hey, look at that, flash complete. And down here, your flash is complete. Success. Success. So, there was just something weird about that flash drive, and that's going to happen. Frankly, this is good, because while it still probably would have booted from that other flash drive I was using, there may have been something corrupt about the file on it or something like that, and it may not have worked. And here it even gives you a cyclic redundancy check 32 checksum, and then you can either flash a new image or use the same image to flash onto a new drive if you're doing multiple in a row, which speeds up the process a little bit, but that's pretty much it. And that's pretty much it. That's what was required to create a bootable flash drive. It's a little bit more easy and less daunting than using Rufus, which is what I was using before. So I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, get subscribed for more awesome tech videos. For more Windows 10 related videos, check the playlist link, YouTube card icon above, playlist link in the description below. And for more Linux stuff and the Linux side of this, check out my buddy over at EposVox Training's video, also in the card icon and description below. Thank you for watching, comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you next time.